Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to reinforce an iPhone lightning cable with some heat shrink tubing, candle, and not much more than that. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm also going to use some scissors for this. So you take your heat shrink tubing, I got this at Harbor Freight, very inexpensive, and you get a lifetime supply, if you're me. So this is the larger of the tubing that they give you in this variety pack. You know, you can get your tubing from different places. That's kind of not the important part. The important thing is that you reinforce this joint right here. And you can see these are some cables that were bought on a pretty commonly used online marketplace for relatively inexpensive. We got 4 of them, and these things have just been dying quickly. So this one still works. I want to keep it working, and I've seen some other videos online with people using other materials, so I wanted to try heat tubing and see if my theory holds up. So the trick is you got to get this tubing over the connector, which it just barely fits, and that's a good thing. That means we have the right size heat shrink tubing here. Because if it was much wider, then it wouldn't shrink down to the diameter of the cable. So you do want to make sure that you choose a tubing that's just a tiny bit wider than the outer diameter of the widest part here, which in this case is the connector. The connector housing, I should say. Then I'm going to pull it down too, because a lot of people have cases that will prevent your lightning cable from getting in there if it's too wide. So I've seen that happen before. I've seen that happen with the 3.5-inch millimeter earphone jacks, where the earphone plug itself is too big and it won't fit through a case. So you have to take a lighter and a knife, but that's for another video. Anyways, I've got my candle here, and I'm just going to start applying heat to it, keeping this thing moving steadily back and forth. And it's going to char it a little bit, and that's okay. We'll wipe that off when we're done. So just keep moving it and rotating it. The length of the heat tubing is about 2.5, 3 inches. This is non-scientific, so it doesn't have to be exact, but I've got high hopes for this project here, and that it's going to save me. It's not so much that these things are expensive, it's just that you never have a good working cable when you need one. And I'm tired of buying them also. Or frustrated every time I buy one of these. But almost just as frustrated when I go to use one. And if you don't hang out long enough to make sure that your phone's taking a charge or your iPad's taking a charge, then you go back to get your phone in a half an hour or an hour later, and it's still, nearly dead, or maybe it's dead, and you missed a call, or now you have to leave the house, and you have to figure something else out. So we have these batteries that we also use if that's the case. Again, we've also got kids in the house, so these cables are in high demand. They disappear a lot also, so I want to keep the ones that we do know where they are in good working order. But anyways, when you're done, you have a kind of a black charring on here. This mostly just wipes off. Grab a tissue, you can clean that off, and this is your end result. So if you have a cable, if you have troubles like me, go ahead and give the heat shrink a try. Let me know in the comments if it works for you, if you have any suggestions or experience with these cables, or maybe if you know why they die in the first place. I'd love to hear somebody that knows more about this than me explain it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.